Hey guys, Tyler here. So for this video, I'm going to react to a video that was done by a guy named Nick Cannon. Now, I haven't seen this guy for like a really long time. The first time I was exposed to Nick Cannon was actually the Nickelodeon show that was called The Nick Cannon Show. And when I was a kid, I was actually impressed by the show, just how funny it was and stuff. And so the last time I saw him was that show, and I believe since then he has done stuff like America Got Talent and so on and so forth. And so when I saw a clip such as this that I'm going to respond to right now, I just honestly just could not believe the amount of stuff that he said out of his mouth. So without further hesitation, let's listen to the clip, and I'm going to give my personal live reaction to the clip because some of the stuff that he said in this video has to be challenged. So let us begin.
So then let's go to what it really is then. When we talk about the power of melanated people, when we talk about who we really are as guys and
Right.
understanding that our melanin is so power and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you see what Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about.
By the way, guys, the person that he's referring to right now is actually well known for being a black supremacist. Now, Franklin, whatever that guy's last name is, sorry, I cannot actually remember it right now, but basically he's actually well known for being part of the Nation of Islam. Now, the Nation of Islam is very much black supremacist in nature. They have this whole entire story within the Nation of Islam where practically there was this guy named Yaqub, and Yaqub created these white devils and these black people. And so it's like the most strange story ever. So if you guys want to know into more detail about Yaqub, is actually part of the black supremacist ideology for like the Nation of Islam. But let's continue on with the clip because he's gonna say some more stuff. It's just awful.
Is that fear and
Just genetic
that
annihilation.
deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the
Right.
lack of melanin,
Right.
that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion.
I'm kind of curious, where do you get this idea that because you have, less or more melanin, you get less compassion as a person? Now, Nick Cannon, I know for a fact that you used to marry, like, Mariah Carey. I know for a fact that you had two twins. And from what I've seen so far in the photographs, like, your twins actually are not as dark as you. They're pretty light-skinned. So how would you say, like, when you say this kind of stuff about how, less melanated people actually, lack compassion, like, do you think that your own personal kids lack compassion just because they're light-skinned than you? I'm just kind of curious, like, what kind of nonsense are you going on about? Because I could tell you one thing, people are learned, like, behaviors to be racist, and of course, like, if you teach people how to be racist, obviously they lack compassion for other races. However, if you teach people to treat people the same as you would to other people, obviously, of course, they would not be racist pieces of shit. So, you're the only one right here is lacking compassion right here. Because you're saying right here that less melanated people for some odd reason lack compassion. That is some bullshit right here. But let's continue.
Melanin comes with soul that we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So
Right.
the people that don't have it have are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less. And where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around
Okay.
to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of a deficiency.
Oh my god. So, you heard all this right here. Because they lack melanin right now, because apparently white people lack melanin, they lack compassion, and so that's why they go off against black people. This is what he's saying right now. I am not exaggerating like any of the clip that I'm playing. This is like from Nick Cannon, the same freaking guy from America Got Talent, and he's saying this kind of bullshit about. Oh my god.
So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
Fight or
pillage
flight. Okay.
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough torrential environments, so they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals.
I cannot imagine like a white supremacist saying the exact same thing for black people. Like, imagine if some white supremacists say, well, you see, because these black people have more melanin, therefore that's why they act up in violent ways, and that's why they commit more crime. Like, if a white person actually said this kind of stuff against black people, you would not imagine like the amount of reactions against that kind of stuff. But for some strange reason, I don't know why, but for some strange reason, it seems as though it's very fashionable to just hate on white people. I don't know why. It's like, can you imagine if someone who was actually white said the exact same thing for black people? Can you actually imagine like the reaction that they're gonna do for this kind of stuff?
They're the ones that are actually the true savages, and then they built up such this I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality that they're coming out of Europe. They then said, in order for us to survive, we have to take what's not ours. And then they went into the land that actually where we are originated.
Wait a second. He's actually suggesting that freaking black people were actually in the freaking Americas. He's basically saying that the Native Americans were black. Oh my goodness. Oh my fuck.
And instead of trying to make friends, they said, we want what you got. Because there's this mentality of whether it's the Caesars or even that we have to conquer.
Right.
So I say all that to say the context. And when we speak of whether it's Jewish people, white people, Europeans, the Illuminati.
Okay, so we're gonna go full conspiracy theory right here. We got the Illuminati. We got Jewish. Oh my fucking hell! Oh.
They were doing that as survival tactics
Right.
to stay on this planet.
Right, because
we never had to do that.
Right, because they've learned when they circumnavigated the globe and they ran into these islands and these places, and we were already there to greet them.
Right.
No, there's no such evidence that black people were on the Americas before the Native Americans. The evidence shows that black people were transported to the Americas through slavery by by the British people, by like, of course, slave importers. So a lot of Europeans brought black people to the Americas through the slave trade. We know that for a fact. Black people did not exist in the Americas prior to the Native Americans. That's insane claim.
With open arms.
With open arms, teaching them, but then
when they were deficient.
They were deficient, so they wanted to get what they thought we had, and we did have it. So the rape took place of the woman. The theft took place of the natural resources.
And then that's when their disease.
Exactly.
That's where their mentality.
Do you honestly think that diseases originated from white people? Because I could tell you that I'm pretty sure that diseases actually existed way before, the contact for white people. Oh yeah, the mic is actually louder in the video. Oh my god. I'm sorry about that. Let me try to adjust my levels right here. But he's basically saying that black people came to like the Americas, and that freaking like they. Oh my! It's just like I cannot believe the amount of nonsense that he's saying right now. Okay, so this will be better, much better. I hope it's better right now for the audio. So let's continue on.
Because I'm trying to get to that place of how they were able to get control over the gods. How were
Right,
they
right, right.
able to get control
Okay, so
over the
once
original
they
people?
learned that though, and now they raped and impregnated, left and came back, and they saw the child lighter, they said, "Wow, that's when they learned
is how we-
genetics."
The thing about it is that, of course, like colonization is not anything new because colonization and all of human history never started with just the white people. Because we know that a lot of people slave a lot of people during those time periods. And so I think when people keep saying that all you see is the white person's fault because of colonization, when in fact that's not true. Because we know for a fact that colonization just happened way before like the slave trade has happened. So that is not true.
Genetic annihilation. So now you have to set up a system of white supremacy to control that.
Right.
So now we have 13 families here, Illuminati that's manipulating and controlling subgroups. Now we got to set up organizations
Coming out of Europe.
You understand what I'm saying? And for that same system, now you're talking about survival, what you just laid out. Now it's fight or flight. Now we have to set up these systems in order to survive.
Right.
But listen, not just survive to get some damn some hamburger buns and some cheese. I'm talking about on a genetic level.
On the genetic, because they will, and that's even from the white nationalists to the white supremacy mentalities to Donald Trump himself wanting to build walls.
Right.
They're trying to keep their what they consider purity.
The thing about the wall stuff is that it's not inherently racist to have a wall. Now, I'm not in favor of having a wall for like United States, but I know for a fact that without borders, there's no nations. And by the way, this is not something for just white supremacy. Most nations have borders, because if there's no borders, there's no nations. Let's take, for example, the most famous border of all history. That is the Great Wall of China. Now, China have the wall, and of course, it goes on forever. And so the Chinese had like this border to protect themselves from the invaders. Okay? And so why is it so bad that white people with like these nations, why is it so bad for them to have borders when in fact everybody else also have borders? It's just,
Exactly, on a
They're
subconscious
trying to stay
level.
alive.
Because sometimes
Because-
they don't know why they acting out.
It's just been proven. Was National Geographic just put it out by 2050?
Uh-huh.
Every person will be a person of color.
In a minute.
They saying that's as soon
Okay.
as 2050.
So let me ask you something. So what is the subconsciousness saying? What's the fear? Like the subconscious said, I gotta survive.
right.
What do I have to do?
And they've been. That's what it's been from the beginning with the
Okay, how do you do that
non-melanated
now?
people.
How do you do that and show love? I gotta take natural resources because I may not be here in a minute. I gotta bomb these people back to the Stone Age because I'm not gonna be here in a minute because I gotta be
That's
able to
where war
dominate.
was created.
Exactly, and control.
are you? Wait. He just said that war has been created by like people coming to the Americas. But I'm sure that war existed way before people started to go to the New World. That is not true. Like, obviously, of course, war always happened. Like, it predates like the colonizations of the Americas.
And dominate people.
Okay.
I have to survive on this planet.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And as you call it, this is a Griff quote right here. Life is living in fear of extinction.
Right. So, and that's what operating on a subconscious level. So they fear. So Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says, when you show up, they view a grown, 6 foot tall, 230-pound black man the same as they do a 4-year-old.
Yep.
Because in us is the genetic material to annihilate them.
Ooh.
And the fuck? It just. What? Oh my freaking god. It's like. Oh my god, it's just so. I'm losing my brain cells just, listening to this. So, Not a good comparison because China is seriously like I agree that China is actually racist, but I'm saying that nations and borders actually existed in other countries that's not exclusively white. So that's why I'm trying to bring out the point. So
And that it's their fear of God.
It's their
It's
fear.
their fear of God.
Exactly.
And then for everybody, because I'm bringing it back in context again, because just so you know, we keep referencing, the great Dr. Francis Cress Wesleyan. Get that book, The ISIS Papers. If you haven't, it's essential. And in Griff's book first, get the Warriors Tapestry. He says that book as well as so many others, that everything that we're talking about, like it has been kept secrets, but it's not a secret. These
Right.
books are out there for you to actually read upon, and they're all facts. Nothing.
they're all facts. No, 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 no. They're not facts. Like there has been studies that have been done by scientists that disprove all your claims in your video about how black people supposedly created everything. So no, these are not confirmed facts. They're just theories propagated by black supremacists like you guys. They're not confirmed.
Nothing. That's where I just wanted to get to. I didn't want to. I didn't want to keep creating this boogeyman of they or the
You have to
Illuminati.
demystify who these
We
people
got
are.
it.
Of
We got to
course.
get to
Right.
when we talk about who the original man
Right.
is the original melanated man coming from the place that we call Africa, and which I
Right.
always find this so amazing and compelling that Africa was named Africa by the Europeans, and Europe was named Europe by the
Ain't
Africans.
that
Wait, what? What? No. I'm pretty sure that's like, what? No, 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 no. Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna try to search it up for 1 second. He said that Africa was named by Europeans, and that, of course, like the Europeans later, call Africa. Let me try to look at the whole entire, like, the details. 1 second. So, okay, let me try to, like, go to my, hold on. I'm going to find like the search results right here. So let me see. Where does the word Africa come from? Let's see. Some believe the word Africa is a variant of the word like I can't pronounce this word. Sorry, which translates to the land that is free from cold and horror. So yeah, I think yeah, it seems still that. Let's see. Let me look at the original name of the word. Yeah, it's like it seems to have originated from like Greece. Now let's go to the word like Europe. Where does the word Europe come from? Let's see. Let's see. The name Europe comes from Latin Europa, which in turn derives from the Greek. So yeah, it seems as though that these words are like Greek in origin. But correct me if I'm wrong, though. But let's get back to the video. Wait a second, no sound? Oh my god, I'm so sorry about this. No sound, no sound. Okay, so I'm gonna try to just go back to the screen. Hold on. Let's see, I'm gonna try to share the screen. Alright, so the sound should be back right here. Okay, much better.
You know what I mean?
same
Like,
thing with the brothers in Africa? They
right.
don't identify with the whole idea that the place was called Africa.
Yeah, they tell you
because
they tried.
it was more tribal, man. And right now, we need to find our tribe.
That's all it is. The lost tribes.
Exactly.
And it goes back, and it goes all the way back to where you were not being anti-Semitic, because that's impossible. You were just speaking the truth. And
He just said that it's impossible for black people to be anti-Semitic because he's black. It's like the new kind of, you can't be racist against white people now. So apparently you can't be racist against Jewish people.
talking about your community, your tribe, and how others have came and taken from your tribe. So
He just said that this guy is Jewish because he's black. Oh my god. He says because he's black, he's Jew. Oh my fucking. Oh. Oh my god, this is like painful. Oh.
which I would love to jump and just divert just original hip hop, and I love how you define hip hop, the higher infinite power healing our people.
Right.
And you where the state of hip hop is today. And you said something so powerful, man. And I want the people to hear this when you said they killed all the bigs and birthed all the littles.
Ooh, yeah.
And if you think about when you say from Big L, Biggie Smalls,
Right.
you know what I mean? Even even the idea of then we birthed. No offense to none of these brothers, but the little Zans, the little Waynes, who is my brother.
The little and the young ones.
The
yeah.
young,
Everybody was
but
young.
just that
Everybody's
mentality
little, right.
of we used to want to call ourselves big this, and now you want to be little pump, little this.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Is that spiritual warfare?
Ooh,
Is
that's psychic and spiritual warfare, man. That's that psychological war. You see,
and then I love the way you break this. These are textbooks. People get.
Wait, are we going to Black Israelites territory? Yes, we are. We actually are going to this kind of territory. They're basically saying that, well, black people are Jewish people. And so I think we're going to go into this kind of territory right now.
Get this from Griff. Like, he got the pictures on every page, and he breaks all the symbolism down, and that's why I'm saying that this what we just said is all in here of
right.
Of
So the whole idea of the warfare that they're waging against us is on a psychological level. So psychology is not the study of the mind.
You just freaking said that psychology is not the study of the mind. Fuck me.
Psyche in ancient Kemet is the soul.
The soul.
So they waging a hidden covert war on the souls of black folks.
Wow. Which goes back is where our melanin is.
So, let me get this straight. They're saying that they're doing some sort of psychological warfare against black people because of the COVID-19. Like, we know that COVID-19 just affects everybody, though. It's not just the black people. It's like everybody else. Oh my fuck.
And the whole idea, right? The whole idea of killing off the bigs and producing the littles, that is part of it.
Right.
What better way to do that?
Yeah.
Now you got a whole generation of MCs, rappers coming up. Little this one, young that one.
Right.
As though you will never grow up and grow old and become a man.
You're gonna be little forever.
You're gonna be little for the rest of your life. So you come on now on television shows sucking a pacifier in the baby bottle. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to understand that particular
in a skirt or a dress.
And they forgot that sister exactly.
Right.
They forgot that Sister Soldier said we are at war. We're at war for the hearts and minds of our people, man. We have to understand that, man.
Right. And one thing I want to talk to again, I'm gonna play the advocate of the opposing advocate, as we call it, because I dealt with this personally on a personal level, and I would love to have some discourse with you about the emasculation of the black man,
right?
Specifically in the media. And the only reason why I feel like this is a good place to go, because from the big to the little conversation, because of now is the male to the female. Now we got everything now, which is ridiculous. To we got Snapchat filters turning our brothers into good. I done seen some of the most gangster people I know put this Snapchat filter on to see what they would look like as a woman, to where like all the way to like, man, if there was a wig and some makeup sitting right there, take the digital aspect out of it.
Right.
So if there was a wig and some makeup right there, yo, Grip, put this on, man. So I see
Right.
what you look like.
Exactly.
Would you do that then? But we will do that with our phones and our screens, and we'll send it and we'll post it for the likes.
Forever.
So say that though. In media, and I salute my brother Dave Chappelle and so many other. We've all heard the
It's just okay. So, as for this whole entire idea of people using Snapchat to do these sort of filters, it's meant to just be fun. It's not meant to be serious. It's not meant to be like, stop provoking. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be a joke. As far as this idea that you have to put on a dress in real life, obviously we cannot do that because some people are not cross dressers. So yeah,
the famous story where he said Hollywood tried, there was a dress hanging in his, and
His
Martin
trailer,
tried to
yeah.
put him on it. And some of the brothers that I look up to and will forever look up to, from Eddie Murphy to Martin Lawrence to all of these people, have to, in entertainment, put on the dress. And a lot of people say they're selling their soul. And I'll go all the way back to my own personal story as a kid growing up on Nickelodeon and not seeing any harm in it at the time in the 90s. Did a skit where I dressed up as a girl. I mean, we in the inconvenience store and we ghetto girls, and like they wouldn't the skit on Nickelodeon, they wouldn't even allow something like that to air today because we ghetto with the nails, and we really all I'm doing is imitating Martin Lawrence and Jamie Foxx, what they did with Shanae and Wanda, and all they were doing imitating Flip Wilson. Well, what he did with Geraldine,
Right.
and what our strong brother Richard Pryor was doing in This Way Is Up, and classic movies and things that we seen, who we consider the greats do, coming before us, but we're not seeing that psychological warfare of they want to, which Dr. Francis talks about, is when we see these images of, because there's a lack of fathers already, there's a lack of male figures, and we understand the black woman is the ultimate creator, but when we are emasculated and we don't know how to be men, and we think it's a joke and we think it's funny, and I see it like now, I don't regret anything in my life, but when I see the 18-year-old version of me prancing around for the joke in a dress, in a wig, I'm like, damn, like, was that me just being funny, or me thinking, this is funny? Where, I'm as heterosexual as it gets, but the messaging that I was putting out there, and then not that there's any, I mean, as to each his own, what you do in your bedroom in the dark at night, that's your business. But to me, as I know, was I used as a pawn, as a young boy to make people, I'm thinking I'm making people laugh, but was there a psychological warfare?
All right, well, let me ask you something.
what in the fuck? So basically, this whole entire rant is just, well, you see, I put on a dress, and therefore it must be psychological warfare that I put on a dress for a comedy skit. And honestly, it's not necessarily, that deep. Like, obviously, of course, when comedians do skits, they might regret something that is not funny, or they wish they could portray stuff in a different way. And so, I don't think there's nothing like a psychological warfare because someone just put on a dress to be funny. It's just meant to be funny. It's not meant for people to replicate in real life. It's just to make people laugh. There's nothing deep about it. So, I don't know what the heck he's going on about at all. I just don't understand this whole entire tyrant about this. I really don't.
Did the laughter die down? Did you grow up?
I definitely grew up.
Now, what would this Nick Cannon say to that one? Bro, look at me though, bro. I want you to...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
So
because
what would this Nick Cannon say to that one now?
The information that I just said, I would give that, but I would still say make your own choice.
But you know the price that you're gonna pay for that though now.
Right.
You woke up.
Right.
And now you got to talk and speak to that young brother that put on the dress.
Put on the dress.
So when I laid it out though,
but I wouldn't judge that one. I wouldn't tell.
Right. We don't have to judge.
I would give them the information.
This is life lessons.
I would give them the ISIS papers.
Right.
I didn't read the ISIS papers when I was 18. I didn't
Right.
understand that there was a greater uh, mission
Right.
to destroy us.
Right.
I thought I was just there to make them laugh. But even if for someone who was awakened like a Richard Pryor,
Right.
still would say, yo, there's nothing off limits when it comes to entertainment. If, like you
Right.
said, you got to get their attention first. And you know, whether it's putting on a dress, whether it's calling yourself little this, whether it's
Right.
making a song about shaking that ass,
Mhm.
like so when we talk about brothers like, you know, Nipsey and
Mhm.
his gang bang
Personas,
affiliation
right,
and
okay.
and its terminology that may not be helpful on the surface, but when you see the brother's beautiful spirit, when
Right,
you know my
right,
ultimate mission,
right.
when you know that ultimately these are brothers that trying to help the community, but we got to get their attention first.
Right. I got a brother, a friend of mine.
Okay, this is not getting anywhere. I think I got all the juicy parts right now. But let's start to summarize the whole entire stream that I showed you guys so far. So basically, Nick Cannon and his partner said that for some odd reason, that black people cannot, be racist against like Jewish because apparently they're Jewish. He also stated that, of course, like that stuff like dressing up as women is like a sign for psychological warfare against black people. He also says stuff like, oh my god, there's like so much bullcrap that he just said. That apparently, if you have less melanin than like black people, that means you have less compassion than black people. And so it's so sad, like really, really sad to see the downfall of Nick Cannon with this kind of stuff. It is so sad that we actually live in a country where it's perfectly fine to just hate on like white people, call them these awful names, say that they have less melanin deficient and that they're actually less compassionate about people based upon their skin color. When in fact, if you did the opposite of what what they just said, of course, people would actually be upset about it. People would actually complain. They would actually write letters against this kind of nonsense. And so I'm sad. I'm really, really sad that people like Nick Cannon peddle this idea that they're somehow superior to other people just because of their race. But anyway, that's the whole entire stream. I'm sorry, it's like 32 minutes long right now. But yeah, that's my response to the video. I just absolutely hate it. I just loathe it. But I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? I'm just